It is also very important to read the instructions very carefully. If you do not pay attention to the word limit, you would definitely end up writing a wrong answer. If you are supposed to write not more than 3 words, you are not supposed to exceed that limit. It is very important to listen to read the instructions very carefully. Like we have the word limit. If you are supposed to write only 2 words, you will have to write only 2 words. If you exceed the word limit, you would end up losing marks. That is a wrong answer altogether. Spellings, very important. Either American or British spelling is acceptable. However, any spelling mistake, one spelling mistake is a wrong answer. General common spellings. And also the capital letter rule. If you are not familiar with the capital letter rule, like for example, you need to write the first letter of a name capital, you need to write the names, the first letter of any city, any mountains, rivers, any name for that matter, even the names of books, movies, all the first letters of all these headings, all these have to be capital. Therefore, if at all you think that you do not know the capital letter rule, you got to write everything capital. There's no problem. IELTS doesn't really have any problem in you writing everything capital, so that could be taken care of. And then while you're doing the listening test, it is also important to keep an eye on the next question while you do the test. If you're on the current question, it's possible that you would be given answers to the next or the question after that, because sometimes it is possible that they would give you 2-3 answers at a stretch. So it's very important to keep an eye on the next question. And it is also sometimes possible that you could be tricked with some questions are often tricky. For example, you should always look for changed answers. I'd give you an example. I heard it from one of the other YouTubers giving an example which I think is a very perfect example. Like there are two people in a conversation, and one person says let's meet at 7 in the evening, and they agree upon that, and all of a sudden the other person remembers, oh no, I have something coming up, let's make it 1/2 and the conversation is over. And what we have in the blank is 7, because we listened only to the first part of the conversation and we forgot to listen to the entire thing, and we don't have the correct answer. So the right answer would be 7:30, which is 7:30. So that is something which we always need to take care of. We need to consider listening to the last word. And it is also important to try and predict the answers which are coming when you read. It's important to read the questions when you're given. Usually you're given 30 seconds to read the questions before the conversation starts. So it's important to read the questions and try to predict the answers. Try to think what could be the possible answer in a particular blank. And if only you are very careful, you will be able to fill in the blanks with the correct words. Sometimes it is paraphrased. Sometimes you might need to write a synonym instead of the exact word which is being spoken in the test. And also you are required to write in a very neat and clean manner. And it is good to use a pencil, because we all make mistakes. People who otherwise do not make a mistake at all do not really require a pencil, but otherwise it's important. Of course, you have the time to transfer the answers to the answer sheet, but yet it's good to use a pencil, and make sure that you use a pencil which is sharp, because it is said that only a sharp pencil can keep your brain sharper. Because if you wouldn't really like the work that you're doing if your pencil is not sharp, if it is not very tidy work. Now analyze the situation when you listen to a particular tape. It is important to put yourself into that situation and try to think from the speaker's perspective to get the right kind of answers. And it's also important to keep an eye on the number in the sense plurals. Plurals, if the answer has to be plural, you definitely have to write it plural, otherwise you would end up losing a mark. So very often students do not listen carefully. You also have to listen to the tape for plurals, and also you have to write if it is plural, or if it has to be singular for that matter.